Now, welcome to another edition of News from Naboo with Thor's Lightning Takes. And let's get right to the news.
Spoilers for Ahsoka.
Okay.
Possibly. Leaks, rumors, possible spoilers. If you don't want anything ruined,
Big spoilers?
possibly. I mean, I've got like a treasure trove today.
All right. Well, then click away if you don't want anything for the Ahsoka series potentially ruined.
Ahsoka spoilers revealed. New details on the hunt for Thrawn. Character return from the Mandalorian, but it's one we kind of already know. A lot of this information is coming from makingstarwars.net, but they've been accurate more often than I'd like to admit.
What, you got something against them?
No, I want to have the leaks. Instead, I get the leaks from somebody.
Well, you...
Send them to me.
No, don't
No.
ask for that. People
No.
are just going to make stuff up and send it to you.
Okay, don't send them to me.
Well, I mean, somebody sent me a leak that Palpatine was going to be the big bad villain of Episode 9 like months and months before it ever came out, so sometimes they come true. I didn't run with it. Should have.
Well, Ahsoka seems to be shaping up differently than what I originally expected. Probably differently than what you originally expected. It's going to be, of course, a follow-up to Star Wars Rebels, setting a stage for even bigger stories. We learned recently there's supposed to be a time jump around the halfway point, with the first 4 episodes following Ahsoka Tano and Sabine Wren as they butt heads with the New Republic, in the second half focused on Ezra Bridger's return.
Butting heads with the New Republic makes more sense now. After
Indeed it does.
It's funny how one episode can, everybody's like, oh, the New Republic kind of sketchy, aren't they?
But we
Maybe they're not as
needed
good as we
this.
thought they were.
We need a setup.
Well, I mean, we can almost dive into Mandalorian now and say, is this just setting up Ahsoka instead of being Mandalorian? Is that a
I
good
worry
thing? Is that a
about
bad
that.
thing?
I mean, there's obviously going to be more to both halves of the season. There are still details that are plenty unknown. I mean, we've got Celebration coming up where we're going to actually get details, we hope. Like a date.
Like a trailer?
That'd be awesome.
4 episodes of butting heads sounds like a lot.
Well, there's going to be more involved in that, but that's
sure.
part of it. That's part of pre-time jump.
I think we're all expecting, like, let's go find Ezra, like, first minute of episode 1, and we're off on our ship, and we're going to do it.
Well, according to makingstarwars.net, we know that Morgan Elsbeth from Chapter 13, The Jedi of Season 2 of Mandalorian, is supposed to be a huge part of the series.
Well, she knows where Thrawn is, according to Ahsoka.
Yeah. When Ahsoka defeated Elsbeth is when we first learned that she was hunting down Grand Admiral Thrawn, though we never saw what became of Elsbeth afterwards.
Nor her answer.
Nor her answer. The show reportedly will follow Elsbeth's attempts to retrieve Thrawn.
Retrieve.
Yes. With a plan to extract resources capable of building a craft that she can travel then to him. This is supposedly the main reason she was on Corvus. Ahsoka did say in the episode that Elspeth kind of goes from planet to planet. She strips the planet of resources and moves on. Called her like a war dog, hunting resources and stuff. So this could make sense. She needed specific resources, maybe that were found on certain planets, so she could get a
Build
ship that
to
can
where?
travel to wherever Thrawn is. Obviously, it's...
Just get a Purgo, wrangle one up.
I don't think that's how it works. You don't get a sleigh and hitch a Purgle to it.
Oh my god, there's a Santa in the Star Wars galaxy and he rides Purgo or attaches them to a sleigh.
Oh, that would work.
Happy Life Day, everybody.
Elspeth is supposedly aligned with the mysterious Force users, Balon and Shin.
Okay.
They're supposed to be some sort of Force users.
It's getting weirder.
They are accompanying her to find Thrawn in the second half of the opening season. In fact, of course, the site believes she is a Night Sister. I kind of believe it as well at this point.
She doesn't look like a Night Sister is the problem.
Well, just because she's not totally pale. She does have some of the... She wears their red. I know that's like a weird thing to point out, but she wears their signature clothes, colors, styles.
Yeah. I guess we do just compare her to other Night Sisters. Even
She
like
has some
Merrin.
markings on her face.
Even Marin, who's kind of ash gray. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Her hair kind of has a little bit of a whiteness to it at parts, or a lighter
okay.
tone to it. She does say that her people were wiped out during the Clone Wars,
Yeah.
which the only people we know who were wiped out during the Clone Wars are Night
Well,
Sisters.
the only one we know, yeah. Could have easily been more.
Probably. But I had kind of believing it at this point. Ahsoka, the show, is said to be taking place before, during, and after that episode of The Mandalorian. So we'll see what happens to Morgan after their duel.
Okay.
But yes, before,
Pick it up.
during, and after.
All right.
As for why she needs Thrawn, who is apparently trapped in some long, far-off reaches of the galaxy thanks to Ezra, it seems there might be a bigger plan at play. This could be linked up to what Moff Gideon's been after. I mean, he is the remnants of the Empire.
Sure.
We know a lot of work seems to be going into attempts to resurrect Emperor Palpatine, but who knows? Thrawn could be behind all of it, or he might be planning his own takeover of the galaxy at this point.
So is she making a ship to get to Exegol?
Nah, I don't want to even think about that.
Well, think about it.
The site adds, and this is going to be a quote, "To reiterate, the story is about a witch armed with 2 ex-Jedi who head to an unknown region in a vessel that took some effort to build on Corvus, and somehow Ahsoka and Sabine follow the Night Sister and her allies there. I speculate that during the first half of the series, Ahsoka will take information about Morgan to Mon Mothma in the New Republic, who will be unable to offer adequate assistance." Yeah.
Well, we do see Ahsoka being escorted by X-Wings in Rebels, too, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
At the very end, as if there's some kind of connection.
Well, Bail obviously knows her.
Sure.
Bail is
certainly.
connected to Mothma.
Well, Bail is dead, but yeah. Bail's been
Right,
dead
but
for a
she
while,
know,
yeah. Yeah, I know what
she
you're
even
trying
knows
to get at,
that there's a connection.
Yeah,
Mon Mothma does.
Yeah.
We've also heard that Mon Mothma was going to be cast in that series as well as in the season of The Mandalorian.
Yeah, she's everywhere now.
They're setting something big. When finally Thrawn does escape, it's going to set the stage for this new wave of stories. This is the beginning, I think. We're seeing the beginnings of the climactic, overarching story event thing that Kennedy promised us.
Almost 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm. This could give a big war or something. Whether they go to Thrawn or Thrawn comes to them. I'm hoping they go to Thrawn, because then we can continue to kind of
makes more
dog
sense
around the sequels if everyone's gone.
Yeah, it makes more sense if this goes somewhere else, because there's no leftovers, no remains of any kind of like massive conflict in anything we see in the sequel trilogy or anything else attached to it. If that makes sense, which I know some people don't care. Some people are like, well, just erase the sequels and we don't have to worry about it.
Get rid of them, it's fine, right?
Yeah, but I mean, all signs point to them. Filoni and Favreau have both essentially confirmed that the sequels happened. We're not erasing them, but we can circumvent them to some degree. So it'll be curious if they do go to this other galaxy and that's where this big battle takes place, and that's why it doesn't seem to... Not that it has to be, not that everything would have to be categorized or cataloged or anything like that, but it does seem like if there's this major event, we kind of would have heard something about it. I don't know. Maybe
Unless
not.
it's in the great
Maybe not.
beyond.
Yeah, who knows?
What I think might be a little jarring for me is the handling of Mon Mothma, because she was a very high brain powered... she was a very
brain,
deep
yes.
character, let's say that. Okay?
She's a great
She's
character
a great
in Andor.
and deep
oh my
character
God,
in
yes.
Andor.
Oh, fantastic.
And to see her carry into The Mandalorian and into Ahsoka, I
don't
don't want her to
dumbed down?
lose any of that.
Well, she already... It's weird because I don't feel like the character we're seeing in Andor is like the character who's going to decrease the military by 90%.
But what else worries me is if she is in this season yet of Mando and in Ahsoka, those both come out before season 2 of Andor, which could spoil things that happened to her.
Yeah.
What if there's something made mention of her family, or...
They're not going to... I think they'll steer
I'd be
clear of
so
that.
mad if somehow we found out details of things that would ruin parts of her story from Andor.
Well, she's been here and there in books and stuff in the new canon and Aftermath and
they
such.
never
mentioned.
mention her family.
Exactly. So it already is pretty much
gone.
set up that gone could mean a lot of different things. Gone could be dead, or gone could be
They're dead.
moved away somewhere else.
My
yes.
theory.
Poor Perrin. He just wants to go golfing. We've discussed it before. He's just one of those kind of guys.
He does. He wants to go golfing. By go golfing, he just wants to hang out in the golf carts, have a couple of drinks with his friends.
That's all he wants.
Said he'd play a few rounds and go home, yeah.
Yeah. Simple man making his way through the golf course.
All right. I do have a couple other tiny tidbits of news to touch on that I think are interesting. First off, I'm just going to mention this briefly because it was something that I thought of and thought it was crazy. Ahmed Best was Kelleran Beck in Mandalorian.
Yes.
He was a Jedi during Order 66. His character was the same character he played on hosting the game show of the teams of kids who compete to be Jedi.
Yeah.
So does that mean all those kids died in Order 66? The ones who succeeded and became Jedi?
I've
In his
heard
game
others
show?
bring that up as well, so...
I feel like that means that's fact. He was the same character on the show, And
I
then
don't think...
all those kids who are competing and like, I'm training to be Jedi, they're all gone.
I don't think the show is canon.
They didn't make it.
I like where you're going with
They
that.
didn't make it.
I like how dark you're going with it.
He
But
tried to save the younglings, and they just didn't make it.
no, they did not. No, I'm going to assume, though, the character is canon. The show is not canon.
I don't know. I think many younglings may have died in the production of that show.
Oh my god. You either succeed or you die.
It's Order 66 time, kids.
Yeah, this is our special 66th episode. You might want to not attend this one.
I'm sorry, everybody. It was one of those weird things that crossed my mind.
You're not sorry.
Not really. Another thing, yesterday, the first Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures shorts came out. Reminder, these are for preschool kids. They're not supposed to be for us. Exactly.
What does that mean?
I did watch all 3 of them.
You did.
The rest of them supposed to be
not.
coming on May the 4th. And my biggest gripe with them was that they are not longer. Because I think they're really good young kids programming. I've seen the stuff that my nieces watch. I think this fits well into the vein. Bright colors, cute lessons. It looks like fun, good times. Like, it's the kind of stuff that they love. But, as my sister will tell you, they need nice long shows because they will watch them on repeat all day, and there's only so much Charlie color form you'll get through the whole catalog, and it starts over. With these only being like 3 minutes, 4 minutes long, you're going to be watching them on repeat a lot as the adult. There's my only gripe. Because they're perfect, they're fine, they're for young children. Yes, they're set in the High Republic, so we don't have to worry about them getting Order 66.
Not yet.
Not yet. We just have to worry about a leveler showing up.
Yes. That's even worse. I think I'd rather be Order 66 than what the leveler does.
They have a cute little planet. They are on the planet Tanu, on the Jedi Temple there, and Yoda hangs out there too, I guess. There's a whole bunch of little younglings there.
Is that where he went on his sabbatical?
I guess. But yes, that's my thoughts on that. And then
he does actually in the High Republic. He is kind of hanging out with the younglings and stuff. So I guess
that's what he likes to do.
It all makes sense.
And then we also got news that Marvel's Secret Invasion is dropping on June 21st. Hooray!
They should have kept the date a secret.
No, they shouldn't have.
No.
We'll definitely be covering it on this channel because we always cover the Marvel shows.
Sometimes, except for when we don't go watch Ant-Man and don't do a review.
Yeah, sorry, Ant-Man. Maybe some of us were still She-Hulked out.
Yeah. All right, well, that is all we got for you this time. So now it's your turn to take to the comments below and tell us what you think of these Ahsoka rumors. Do they sound good? Do they sound crazy? Plausible, not plausible? Whatever you think, leave those comments below and let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.